Partey can risk it all for Arsenal, but he can't risk it all for Black Stars. Last time Ghana had a proper DM was Mubarak Waka.
Yes. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is MYBET.AFRICA TV. My name is Anakwame. Why they laugh? Eh? Why they laugh?
Senior Francis, if you Vicente.
Charlie, the violence way they go between these people. But Charlie, I guess this one be off air. So MYBET.AFRICA TV. Francis is here. Vincent is here. And then
married man, I beg you.
Oh, I said a woman be. Maybe the woman they bring deal.
Food.
They bring food where you fight about the food.
Get any woman deal.
Today on the agenda, we're going to do a review of the Black Stars game against Central African Republic in Kumasi. And we had correct eyewitness report. Somebody who was there to witness the game. What we didn't see on TV, what was going on there. I mean, kudos to the Kumasi fans, man. I mean, these people were amazing. Also,
the report, make you no mention Salis in you. I beg.
Oh, relax. But he was there. So whatever happens,
make you no mention.
whatever happens, we'll take his word for it. So, Francis, welcome to Accra.
Yes, bro.
Charlie,
Kumasi was lit. You understand? On the day of the game, 7 o'clock p.m. kickoff time, top of the hour. Brilliant atmosphere. The best you can ask for.
Which of Kumasi?
Charlie, if you look at the whole environment, everything is inside. The thing they like, we say the sandwich. You know sandwich? It be like the faduka. You mix everything. Charlie, the bars before the stadium, the music, Charlie, the euphoria, everything was electric. And there was only one thing on that evening. The entire country unites, seeking for a victory. And the Black Stars stepped onto the pitch. Against all odds, they managed to bring their A game on board, especially in the second half. They turned out into the second half from the 50th minute to the 70th minute, simply unplayable. Popped out with some brilliant patterns, scored some brilliant goals over the course of the game. But, Charlie, Kumasi is the home of football in Ghana. You look at the love. People basically were ready to put their life on the line for the Black Stars just to win. And the boys never disappointed. Players like Fatau Isahaku stepped up and duly delivered. Mohamed Kudus was in the mix. His normal jinking, drop off shoulder, twist and turning, assist, everything was there. And yet, again, the man in form for the Black Stars, Jordan Ayew, 5 goals.
Striker!
In his last 4 matches, stepped up and duly bagged a hat-trick for the Black Stars on the evening. If you look at his performance, that was a crisp-free-flowing champagne football played by the entire team. In the last 10 minutes, the team suffered after the substitutions, but I know the coach will pick a clip from it. But we won, but there were cracks in there. The biggest problem is the holding midfield position of the Black Stars. And if you watch that game, take away emotions, take away agenda. Let's be realistic and talk about football. The partnership between Thomas Partey and Abdul Salih Samet at the heart of our midfield is not working. And I am becoming so worried because the technical handlers of the Black Stars have proven that it is Abdul Salih Samet that they trust to play as a holding midfielder. We saw him at the African Cup with Baba Idrisu. It didn't work. It was a catastrophe. Fast forward with Thomas Partey, who is Ghana's biggest central holding / attacking midfielder, based on the role he has been deployed into. It didn't work. If I say it is not working, that means I have hope for the future. It never worked. So it is time for Otoado to take the gamble to give another person the opportunity to play different permutations. It will work or it won't work.
Not to cut you. The last time when you were not here, we were suggesting from Benedict and Vincent that, well, Partey's role in Arsenal is more like a deep line midfielder. So why don't we leave him to play the number 6 role and then find 2 other midfielders who will probably be moving the ball forward?
You see, the reason why Partey cannot be played as a central attacking midfielder is the fact that we play a 4-2-3-1 formation. So the pivot has to hold.
No, but still you can play.
I'm coming. You need one robust holding midfielder and you need a flexible holding midfielder who can be on top in central midfield, but he can spread passes along.
Like Ashimeru?
In Arsenal's midfield, we've seen the countless number of times that Partey has played premium passes into the attacking channels, either on the wings or through the middle. So with such a player, you don't lock him. One thing that you do with a holding midfielder is you are locking him. And when you lock him, you are restricting his creativity, or you are restricting a portion of his game. And the current team that we have in Arsenal, we have Martin Odegaard. Don't make a mistake. We have Odegaard and we have Declan Rice, who has proven that they are box-to-box midfielders. They can move around freely and create chances. But with Partey, with his age and with his mentality for the Black Stars, Partey can risk it all for Arsenal, but he can't risk it all for Black Stars. With all due respect, putting away any sentiment, let's just be realistic. You understand? So you need somebody that can do the dirty job. The reason why Kevin Prince Boateng, Sula Ali Muntari, Stephen Appiah, Michael Essien, and co play freely and at will for the Black Stars and excelled in their roles was the fact that we had a certain Antoniana, who is a secret weapon in the team, who will sit in that holding midfield position and do all the dirty jobs. It's just like a Sergio Busquets doing the job for Xavi Hernandez and then Iniesta in midfield. You understand? Thomas Partey cannot play that role for the Black Stars. He has proven, we tried it at the AFCON in Cameroon. It didn't work. You understand? So we needed Salis. And for once, the reason why I am worried is the fact that when was the last time that position, Ghana as a country, we've been lacking in that position. This is the first time that is popping up. Yeah. You understand?
I mean, after Antoniana,
there was a time that we had a midfielder playing for Liberty Professionals in the local league. Can you help me with his name? He was in the 2009 qualifiers to the 2010 World Cup. He was a holding midfielder. He was a local player. He was playing for the Black Stars with Michael Essien, Sule Muntari, and Stephen Appiah and co in the team. Even the match we played as second, you know the Black Stars played one match as second, I think against some of the South African distant, either Ethiopia or one of them. He played in central midfield. His name is just I'm just getting his name off, but he played brilliantly. See, you see, I made mention of Emmanuel Keke. It's not that I'm overhyping him. Such the holding midfield, who name someone that is motivated by himself to play. Because with that position, no, you don't need too much experience. You just need someone to break opposition attack. The rest of the job, the experienced players will do it. So if Otoado and co, any of them will chance up on this video, they should think about that. It's just suggestion. Get a local holding midfielder.
Don't you think we have holding midfielders?
Abu Francis, the new chap that they've recruited, is a very good holding midfielder. But it's the opportunity. He needs the opportunity. Like the Rondon Williams. If you look at him on the training pitch, he's very exciting. But he needs time to play. Like he needs like 30 minutes to play. I understand now. It's a pecking order. He will come. But with time, I think some of these players, as a coach, you just need to take gamble on them. But hey, Salih Samed is not the solution to the Black Stars. He is the problem. Baba Idrisu is the problem. We need a proper holding midfielder. And it is up to the technical handlers of the team to scout around the entire world to find us one, because we need that. You saw how the Central African Republic, after we scored, you saw how they came at us at will. And the big question was, where were the passes coming from to their strikers? Right at the heart of the midfield.
There was nobody breaking the play.
There was nobody breaking it up. So they realized that with the Ghana defenders, Jeku is not the fastest centre back you can get. Salisu is young, but he's not the fastest centre back you can get in terms of a foot race. And they realized that Mafuta is very quick. So they decided to switch their taxi to route 1. We drag them to the center line or closer to the center line. We get the ball. We play it long into the channel. With foot race, he would outrun them. And he has used that to perfection. Yeah. Up until the second half that the coach managed to tweak some stuff that we were able to contain them and we got our goals because we exploited them on the wings. We realized that we had explosive players on the wing. Had Suleimana, Kamaldeen has been efficient and ruthless enough in front of goal. Would have scored more than the 4 goals we've scored because he had some guilty chances that he messed up. I think collectively the aim must be achieved. It's the qualifiers. We just need to grind out the results. But as we are grinding out the results, we need to have patterns because people's heart were in their mouth in the last 10 minutes. And the only negative I have seen in these two games is we need a holding midfielder. I don't know if any of the pundits also saw him.
Let me go to Benedict.
Okay, so talking about a holding midfield, I think we have Alfred Duncan, who is very good, but he chose not to play for the Black Stars again. So
they're not the column.
He said he wouldn't.
No, he said
I mean, the issues there. If you know the column,
So I think this is the time Otoado needs to step in.
Jeffrey Schlupp, he has played in holding.
Otoado needs to step in.
We get like 3 or 4.
Yeah, but you just mentioned Abu Francis.
As number, we have Abu Francis.
No, we are looking at players when it gets to the highest stage, they would be able to come in.
When the highest stage.
No, football is different. Football.
Don't talk about highest stage. These are all professional footballers.
No, we're here. I'm coming. We're here the other time. A House of Folk captain went to South Africa and was complaining about the stadium.
These are players playing in the top leagues in Europe.
Where is
we are
Abu
talking
Francis
about
playing?
highest stage. We have the guy in Elisha Owusu playing in the Serie B. The Mafuta who scored against Black Stars. He also playing in the Serie B. We have
you are talking about, we have positions. We have positions
let's
based
talk about
on
highest football.
Hold on.
No, we know
What is
the highest football.
What is highest football?
Someone playing at Roma cannot be compared to someone playing at
If you play in
Kotoko.
Roma and I play in Kotoko, we are all professional footballers.
But you are not to his level.
What level?
Vincent,
Even training
allow him to
pitches,
make his points.
pitches,
When you get your
they are
tennis.
different.
go ahead. Please.
Training techniques are different,
Benedict,
you know.
Benedict, go ahead.
So when it comes to this, we are talking about this is a national team. A national team, we are looking at the best players the country can pick. Yes. So if we have a player, we are always complaining about we not having a holding DM. But we know what Alfred Duncan has done in the Syria. To the extent of
actually,
we have holding
realistically,
yes.
with you. This is the time for Alfred Duncan to be the main man for the midfield.
Yeah.
Because he had the opportunity to play with the Stephen Appiahs, the Michael Asians, and the
I understand your match.
Yes.
Duncan has been playing
this
for
is the time for him.
But I'm trying to tell him that we have holding midfielders in the team.
holding
We have
midfielders.
numbers, the type of players. We have some of them.
I'm coming. Isn't the coach training with all these players and on match day he's speaking
So I'm
Salis?
trying to say that the players who are in the team, they don't deserve the call-up.
And I'm saying that isn't the coach training with all these players and on match day he's speaking Salis?
Then it means they deserve a chance. Who can say something?
What is they deserve a chance?
But it means Alfred Duncan is not bench. That's what I want to tell you.
No, I'm telling you that the coach is training these players and he's picking one player ahead of these players. We are complaining that Salis is not being good, but the coach is still picking him. That shows that in training sections, all these players are saying we have a lot of players. They are not proving it.
But there could be an issue of nepotism, but we'll just put that on the side.
Oh no, with that one,
We'll put that on the side. That one is so and the rest will handle it.
If you are bringing that one, it needs to be a whole different thing. What I'm saying is,
I mean, hold on. Let's just admit that it's a serious problem with the Black Stars.
Yes, it's
and
a
if we
serious
can't
problem.
have conversations about the Black Stars without bringing the fact that most of the time we've had issues of nepotism, bringing in their players to play positions where they are not killing it. We can't talk about the Black Stars and leave that out.
sometimes too, I think when it comes to especially national teams, coaches are meant to make national teams are not more like a club where you feel like I don't have this player, I need to go and buy. We're talking about Thomas Partey playing as a deep line. Francis was saying no, it wouldn't work. But Partey playing as a deep line would work perfectly for the Black Stars. If you are watching our games,
In my summary, I said, listen, I said, for Arsenal, Thomas Partey partnering Declan Rice, Partey is the deep line midfielder. Psychologically, he can risk it all.
So based on the players around
it's not about
mentality.
we shouldn't bring mentality into this. It's
No,
like when
football is
you are
about
bringing
it.
mentality, it's
Mentality
like
is very,
you are
very
trying to say when Partey is playing for Arsenal, he's putting his all.
But
When it comes to
that's
the truth.
But that's
No, that's not the truth.
Bring this
No,
one
but
argument.
he actually said it in plain English that he doesn't risk it all when it comes to the Black Stars.
Fine, I get
And
it.
it's obvious. We all can see
Fine,
it.
I get it. But you are talking about Arsenal. We are looking at a player who is playing a deep line. Why we are always complaining about Salis is Salis gets to screen the game.
No, before, I'm not
Wait,
interjecting you, but do you know that Michael Essien plays as a holding midfielder for Chelsea throughout his career? But most of the matches he played for the Black Star, he never played as a holding midfielder.
He plays on an attacking
They've been
line,
times
Because
we've seen
he has
Mikel
always
Obi.
played with Antoniana.
Yes.
And
We've seen
everyone
Mikel
knows
Obi
that
come
Pablo-
to Nigeria and do same.
You understand? Mikel Obi goes to Nigeria. He doesn't play as a holding midfielder. He plays as an offensive.
Yes.
But with the Black Stars team now, with the explosive wingers we have, with Partey playing as a deep line, the balls we are expecting Salis to just drive them across. He's
Partey
not
will
doing
be
it, but
doing that,
Partey
yeah.
has that. But the only thing we need to do to help Partey is getting another midfielder who is at least physically strong to cover up when it comes to being box to box or being
That's
free.
one thing I was about to talk. Salis Abdul Samad.
It's not that guy. Fine.
It's not carved out in a defensive midfielder role. A defensive midfielder shouldn't be the one touching the ball.
I didn't support you on that.
A defensive midfielder shouldn't be the one touching the ball 1, 2, 3, 4 before he thinks about doing something.
Destroyer.
You just destroy.
No,
we
but
saw
we've seen Jorginho.
I'm coming. Jorginho,
we've seen Busquets. They are not physically.
But Jorginho is not an aggressive player.
He's type of DM is special.
Sarissimo wants a player that touches the ball. The next thing is he's bringing in a pass. And that's what Jorginho does. Andrea Pirlo under Maximiliano Allegri at Juventus. He gets the ball, he springs the pass, and Pogba does the dirty job. You understand? So you can see him in that hole. But in terms of defining his role, it's a different thing. Jorginho will never go and hustle and win balls. Like the way Declan Rice plays with Jorginho and he becomes the one that wins the ball. Declan Rice plays with Partey and becomes the one that carries the ball. So the roles are being defined
depending on who you're playing with.
The permutations, so don't get it wrong.
Yes, I get it. But with Partey's issue, where I'm trying to drive at is we can do that. We've seen even at Chelsea, Mauricio Pochettino was doing that, where he saw Caicedo wasn't able to, at least he was sitting, making all those, but he needed when Cucurella steps in, it helps a lot, and we saw it in the last 5 games. This is some tactical tweaks Otuado can do. We have who is like Seydou, who is very good. No, Seydou is even very good defensively. He can invert and help with Partey when there is issue. I'm looking at the Black Stars as Salis is a different type of player. If Salis is playing in maybe a Spanish club or a Spanish national team, you could see his ball play because his role is more of to handle the ball, distribute the ball, maybe slow the game, like the Jorginho type of player. So, but in the African type of game, it's different. We want physical players, we want players who can drive the ball, who can shoot, who can do a whole lot of things. Going into this game, what I saw was there were a lot of things, especially when it comes to moving the ball faster. We were lacking that.
Yes.
And when mostly we get the ball up there and maybe there is a counter on us, our defensive positioning is very poor. If you watch the first goal, when they had the ball with a true pass, the person who was closer to their striker was even Gideon Mensah. Our 2 defenders, our 2 centre-backs were lost. So these are issues we need to look at. And he was talking about a DM. A DM can do that. But I always look at a centre-back being like the master planner of the team, especially your number 5, as we used to call it. He screens the game from afar and controls the whole midfield, especially like a Thiago Silva, like the Sergio Ramos. They know when to tell you to go, when to hold on. Don't join, hold on. Let's be able to cover up. So these are things that are coaches, that is meant for the coach to do. So if we go into games and we are being exposed that much, then there's a problem. But in the second half, we saw that Otuado was able to do that small changes to solve those bring solutions to those problems. And I'm seeing the Black Stars going forward, we need a DM. As a DM, especially, as I was saying, a professional one who would understand the game, knowing that this game we need to slow it down.
Yeah, professional now can I see now but
professional.
We are coming to you.
I can't tell Mr. Somebody
relax. We are coming. You never mentioned anything.
I never said that someone playing for Kotoko is not professional.
But you're done with your submission, right?
I'm done.
Okay, great.
But let me end the professional thing. I'm not saying someone who plays for Kotoko is not professional. Someone playing for Kotoko is not professional. But you can't compare there are 2 players that are playing professional football, but I can't compare their ability in game because someone has the knowledge, especially on big occasions, on big platforms, on big games, compared to someone. You can't tell me that someone playing Kotoko, someone playing House, or someone playing even championship games we've seen top goalkeepers like Kairos go into Champions League games and they are shaking. Why? Because he's a professional, but when he gets to a stage, there are levels to the game. We've seen Ronaldo's and Messi's hit their chest.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, man can say, Duncan Duncan is up there.
Duncan is your solution.
Now, how can Duncan be our solution? What are you talking about?
All right, continue. You have the floor now.
No.
Talking about players who get compliment from the Ronaldo.
Let's explain.
Then our centre backs are Edo Muru at this game. teams don't know.
Salisu and
We are talking about the holding midfield.
Oh,
relax.
let me
No, now
I'm trying to make a
Salisu
point.
plays for Monaco.
I'm trying to make a
And
point.
Ejiku plays for Fenerbahce.
Mafuta no share goal. Obo our means which is the Sirabi.
Forget
Relax.
about
Osha hat-trick. What I'm trying to tell you is Duncan can come into this team, but still Myanmar Enkoye.
Maybe Jordan
We need-
share hat trick.
Oh,
Jordan
let me-
Botin Ben Crystal Palace last 7 games in Kono Nyabimbo.
It's not
So
about
he's
last.
not
It's
even
not
the
about
standard
last.
that
It's not even about last.
If you
Jordan is
say
playing for
that,
Crystal Palace.
if you say that, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about
When we started the
professionalism.
season,
based on-
about twice once. If
No,
he didn't play this, also it's not about the
Say
standard.
Nipa
No,
Nipa
but Asamoah Gyan, our top marksman,
Yeah, the top-
in the UAE league.
It doesn't matter where the player
Why?
is playing.
Why? Because
So,
Asamoah Gyan has rose to the levels.
it doesn't matter about the
No,
team.
but I mean, before Asamoah Gyan went to play on all these big teams, it was still the
Yes.
Black Stars that were giving us performance.
It's better can't show any pass.
So
No, what you are talking about, the professionalism you don't want to understand.
no,
is
what
we have
what
levels
it's
of
not-
football.
use another word. Use the right word.
What he's trying to say?
Professionalism.
Listen. What he's trying to say is that let's not rule out players who are not, in your own words, who are not
Okay.
playing
Team.
top tier football, like playing in the major leagues in Europe or playing in the major leagues in the world. Look, we've been in this country where there are players who come into a team. I mean, we didn't know where Inkum came from.
Okay.
Inkum was that player that after the under 20, you just knew that the guy was just ready for the Black Stars, and he wasn't even playing any big team like that. You understand?
Play for Basel or Denipo Depotrovsky.
Exactly.
So
And
play for
what-
Basel.
no, but my point is, anybody
It
can
doesn't
come.
matter where the player
all you
plays.
need is the coach's trust for you
Fata
to
Oda better
execute.
put on that ash goal. Oko Chawo Ronaldo mo on share and have a fantastic AFCON friend saying World Cup.
World Cup.
It
Against
doesn't-
wine. World Cup
Oh.
against wine.
Yani Portugal mambo. Yani Portugal mambo.
But we didn't qualify for
But we
it.
didn't
No,
qualify.
it's not about qualifying from the group.
Maybe Fata Oda Okanasem. Fata Oda
How can I tell you that
Ronaldo ball was jubilating, just saving a Ronaldo.
mentality.
Of course.
And
That
mentality.
is what.
But
Any
60 what he's
you
talking
don't
about.
understand.
Yeah, waha. Yet me who defenders any goalkeepers or my top saves no money aji. Kairos money Arsenal goalkeeper can do say. Rams they win no money saves and money nje. And you say
Fata Oda the Nije ni the Nubi na
Masa
Rams
who to me
them.
say Fata Oda the nje. Watch ball. A goalkeeper can make a save, no jubilate. It doesn't matter.
So
it's Ronaldo.
let's trash that.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with
We
you.
are trashing
Anyone
that.
can come into
But what
that
I'm saying
space
is,
and
well,
play.
they're your
Let them
professionals,
come
but I'm
and
trying
play.
to tell your man say, Ghana, your DMs will be. In this current team, we have Elisha Owusu. On Gideon Mensah about same thing. Elisha Owusu is a number 6, right? We have Edmond Ado. He's a number 6 player. Or at a point, he can even play as a centre back.
Yes.
We have Ibrahim Sulemana, the young guy at number 10. He plays for Cagliari. Man,
He's
for
a
the
number
new
6.
goal account for. So men can't just say we don't have that kind of profile now. We have some in the team, but the coach is not playing them.
Why?
That's his problem. That's the coach's problem.
It's what some now can be such as say.
No, the Cagliari midfielder is a very good
It's a very,
very
good
good player.
defensive midfielder. So I'm trying to tell you, say
So
we have this midfield.
we should put it like the coach is not able to see
the-
this talent in training.
You see,
What are you talking about?
You see why? You
It's the
see why?
coach selling-
You see why when we're speaking.
No, what are you
You are
talking
talking
about?
about. You are talking
the centre
about.
back Abdul Mumin for
He,
I'm trying to
yes,
tell
he,
you,
he came into the game
I'm
and
trying
then
to tell you,
you
sir.
could see the aggression he brought into the game.
Yes. Yes.
But I know so maybe a fourth crowd.
See,
Which
I'm
one
trying
was
to
the
tell you,
penalty?
man,
But I want it-
I'm trying to tell you, say we have those players.
who fits that profile.
But if the coach is not playing, man can say that's what I'm saying. Is that Duncan can come back. Duncan buy the better.
Will still play
Duncan,
bench.
your friend several times or buy when you're playing time. It doesn't mean that we don't have
No, now we are looking for a solution.
a solution.
The solutions are in the club.
And your advice are my coach. You know, man can say we don't have the
Says
players.
the solutions are in the team, and we are not still solving the problem. Then
The
then
solutions
what
are
are
in
we?
the team. But you are calling for Duncan. That is
not
that is
up to us
Duncan-
to choose.
Duncan is a Ghanaian.
It's a Ghanaian. By calling Duncan is not the solution. We can call Duncan or Betina Ben. There is still solution.
Duncan Babette not been saying.
What he's trying to say,
Francis,
I
what I'm
listen.
trying-
What
you
he's
know the
trying
power
to say
side.
is, it's all up to the coach to decide who plays that role.
Yes.
We can sit here and talk.
You're talking about we
Nana,
should call a player
see, I
like
say,
Duncan. And I'm trying to
see,
tell
I
that
say we want a
have,
solution
we have
to
to
it.
typical DMs.
We want a solution to it.
And the solution is not calling
Wait,
Duncan.
a football club, like maybe the Manchester United, the Arsenal. Don't you think Arsenal is having maybe a DM in the academy who can come in and
let's
do
not
it?
compare.
But they are going in for
Let's
the
not compare
club,
clubs,
right?
but-
Because they are looking at
Make a point.
I have a conversation.
Make your point.
Let's say make a table Chelsea. If the Chelsea fan, he's very familiar with the Chelsea team.
You make
The
your man
kind
go
of
slap you
no,
for
no,
what
your
you
man
do.
not go fit slap me.
You
And you
continue.
continue.
My guy, but what you say.
Continue.
Threatening.
Like this Chelsea team, we have Moises Caicedo, who is a DM.
You have Lavia.
We have Lavia, who is a DM. Then we are playing the game. Then we are playing Gallagher and Enzo as our two pivotal players. And Francis is saying that Gallagher and Enzo, they are very good, but how we are playing, we need somebody who can be the destroyer in the team. So he means fast forward. The deal I say about team should be
Caicedo or
Lavia. But you are mentioning Casemiro Obama, Manchester United. That is what I'm telling you.
Casemiro is not a Chelsea player.
Relax. No, relax.
If he's a Chelsea player on loan,
you see,
I can mention his name.
When Francis was talking, he made mentions that it's either we drop Salis and play someone like Antonio Line level or someone who is a D. But you are mentioning someone now who say
who's not even in the squad.
Duncan is the solution. I'm saying that you bet my friend Duncan, but still on Bobo no. It doesn't solve the solution.
The problem is the coach needs to find who the player is and making sure that solution should be in the team.
The last time Ghana had a proper DM was Mubarak Waka.
Yes.
After him, none of them.
That is the point I make us all in professional football. Duncan can come to it's my bad. So
that is problem.
That is the issue.
The coach na bon.
You see, Salis in start to the stand say, Salis born up.
I'm not catching you, but look at the partnership that Avram Grant left. Mubarak Wakaso and Efri Aqua.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I'm saying. It depends on right now, you see, even just look at the teams. Right now, some of the coaches call he doesn't care say, wait, DM, you are a rock. You just need that flair for the beer, you can control the tempo. Salis, the reason why I say Salis may be parent Salis and Partey. Sometimes I may prefer Salis and Baba.
We saw Salis and Baba Idris.
No, let me talk.
Terrible.
Salis and Baba Idris.
It didn't work.
You see when we were talking about Salis and Baba Idris.
It didn't work.
Yeah, no. I mean, can't say work. But when we're talking about
He didn't work under which coach?
Salis and Baba Idris. Salis and Baba Idris. On say a band say Baba Idris will yes ejumana, but always na kasa. You know, omumbo pass. Like the answer narrative not change. No more pass and they don't play now. This Ringer will be running and don't. But about Partey a year. You see, we are talking about defensive game. So anytime I say it differs from how we approach the game. You remember the second half? I say game need change here. Salis had a better game because we remember our preview. I mentioned say if you are playing 4-back, I expect Tariq Lamptey, Ali Duseidu, and Gideon Mensah to go. I expect Thomas Partey to join the attack. And I expect say Jiku and Salisu open up. Not Salis, maybe John Finfin. And you see, join the second half of the game. That didn't happen. And it helped us. You see, somewhere last year, one of our episodes, when we were playing our African Cup of Nations against Central African Republic, the catcher say Luis Mafuta is a key player for Central African Republic. And I predicted say he will score in that day of a share. And even this game,
he scored a hat-trick.
Yes.
You see, your striker is Bimoha. Mafuta has that agility. He can contain on like
he's very quick.
He's very quick. Speed or the far. Speed or the far. A friend is saying
Jikune way.
Put his body frame in front
you
of
understand?
them and
So
shielded the
sometimes
ball from them.
how we approach the game, me Salis can go into a different team and he can play better.
Salis is not a typical African.
Yes.
What is like Jorginho?
Holding midfielder.
Me say against
African football.
Against Uruguay. Against Uruguay World Cup. Mama mia. That day, and I'm telling you the reason why people have been calling Salis Dio.
No, but he was in top shape to the World Cup.
That day, Suarez, Darwin Nunes, and Manuel Ugarte, I'm pressing. That day, Partey was out of the game. So, Memphis, I'm not telling Jiku, I'm Bima, Nasa Tabeji. I'm about so Salis a breaky press. No? That's what I'm saying. That we can play Salis, but to me, no, we can play Salis and Partey. That is when we are playing against a team, or low block. Central African Republic or no more pressing. So maybe at that profile, we didn't need a destroyer in the team. So what I say? Because our game was attack. Oh, Kudus lose banana on boy and Mafuta. See the kind of goals they were scoring. Counter-attack football on normal.
Did you mention here the last
time?
So
what I'm saying is that we can have a typical DM in the team. Go Salis Mo a typical team. Because Jorginho is a typical DM. Partey a DM. So what I say, how our coach I feel like still we have so.
I think the bottom line of the whole conversation is that the coach needs to make some
decisions.
Yes, exactly.
Every good team has a quality DM two quality centre backs. You know why? They just sit. They play closer to each other. The GM plays in the faces of the two centre backs.
Yes. So
when they talk, they communicate properly. And a proper DM is like the organizer of the team. Aside the back three or back four, everybody is in front of the DM. So he is the one that looks at everybody. Hey, Vincent, pick this. Nana Kwame, pick this. Benedict, pick that. Benjamin Afutu, in the title-winning season for Hearts of Oak, if you watch Hearts play, he was the engine of the team. Why? You will not cut him off guard. He's always sitting in front of that back four in Robert Adosua and then this guy. And he basically, Mohamed Al-Hassan, basically, he is calling everybody into order. You understand? This Abdul Salih Samed, in terms of communication, he's not the best. It's a problem. It's a problem.
I think it's obvious that we've been able to. I mean, that's a problem solving.
I know they see.
We've identified the issues in the team. We know that we have explosive wingers that we can exploit.
That is our strength, whether we like it or not.
Yes.
It's the wingers.
We can still play Salis and play Partey and play another DM.
You are talking as if you are not hurt when you went to this AFCON.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you saying in Salis?
Playing Partey and playing Salis, you are playing the same profile of players.
Yes.
So that is the same issue I've been talking about. Say, Salis ne Partey. I don't really see the difference.
See,
Partey is more like as a Partey, but more, play offensive passes in the same. Salis.
But you think with Partey in our team and with the profile of explosive wingers we have, and with the profile of explosives, Jordan is the how will I say, the slowest among our strikers. The Ronnie Williams guy is a quick guy.
Faster.
You look at this guy, the Bournemouth striker, Antoine Semenyo. He's very quick. You look at Inaki Williams, very quick. You understand? So if you have a midfielder like Partey on top of a holding midfielder, you are sure that when he steps on the ball, you break the lines of the opposition with those passes that they need to. In the second half, the reason why we destroy Central African Republic with those 4 unanswered goals on the bounce is the fact that they've learned to play the ball quicker into the attacking channels for the explosive wingers. And like I said in my submission, had it been that Kamaldeen Sulemana has been efficient in terms of his decision making and his finishing,
he would have scored more goals.
He would have popped up with goals because Abdul Fattah Isaaku created chances. He had his moments. He has his moment in the faces of the game.
And he took it.
And he took them. He tried to link up people. But with Kamaldeen Sulemana, he was fortunate to have the clearest chances at goal, but he didn't take them. So I'm telling you, whether we like it or not, we need a Thomas Partey in this team for us to be able to unlock opposition defenses. Because with Mohamed Kudus, one thing that people are crying about with Kudus is he is not someone that will play passes. He drives with the ball. And that was what people were glorifying with Majid Ashimeru. And I kept telling them, the two holding midfielders in Baba Idris and Abdul Salih Samuel at the AFCON were not playing passes. So we needed Ashimeru to drive the ball.
Yes.
That's the same point I'm talking about. That Salis in our team, I don't know how the coaches are. So it depends on how the Otuadu knew that there was no way Central African were going to press us. So you don't really need.
And they figured us out.
You don't really need that destroyer. And even if your destroyer is in, the moment we are attacking, it means your destroyer also move with the attacking players. But we be close to them. So you close them, then they ball on the counter attacks. So what I'm saying is, we have, good players, a lot of profiles, with different profiles in your national team. Like we are saying.
No, I just think the coach should be a little bit brave in selections.
Exactly.
So because if you don't give the guys opportunity, you don't get them.
After the game, Otuadu mentioned that we didn't start Jordan because of how we are approaching the game. And Jordan came into the game against Mali because of how we wanted to, change the approach in the game, and it worked. And he said we started Jordan as a number 9 because of how we wanted to play against Central. So formation in Paris. But old team can say because he's a player. You're born against a team. I'm not defending Salis. I'm talking about the team as in how the coaches approach the game.
Charlie, we need to see someone. So the way forward is to be realistic as a football pundit or journalist. That realistically, the way forward. I appreciate everything he tried to speak about Salis, what he brings on board.
It's not about Salis. I'm
coming.
Relax.
I'm coming.
Relax.
Going forward, Benedict, I personally wish Salis should be dropped. Gamble should be taken out. I don't want to see Baba Idrisu. I don't want to see Majid Ashimeru. I want to see another young midfielder like the way we are now throwing for
Antoniana.
Tao.
So we can give Ibrahim
Let's
Suleiman
get another
that
person to partner party, then we can judge.
and
All right, so you watching us? Let us know who your ideal midfield pairing or your midfield partnership in the Black Stars will be. Obviously, a lot of us will still go for Partey because it's like Partey hasn't
He's
really,
our star midfielder.
he still hasn't been unlocked as the Partey we see
And
in
you
Arsenal.
know, Coach Milovan Rajevac, the one that took us to the 2010 World Cup, took some gambles and it paid off. He basically played Samuel Nkum, a right wing back, as a right-sided midfielder at the World Cup.
Yeah.
You understand? He took Ajiman Bedu from under 20, put him into the Black Stars team. Charlie, sometimes, take the gamble, my brother. He picked Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew, bench Sulali Muntari. At that time, was playing for Inter Milan, won the Scudetto, won the Champions League, won the Serie A team, which is their destiny. What's their name? Their FA Cup.
Coppa Italia.
Coppa Italia, you understand? This man should have balls and take the decision because that Cagliari midfielder, he knows quality. The Cagliari midfielder, if you watch him play, Cagliari has one of the finest seasons this season. You should put him there.
So, but do you also think that the coach will have the balls to be able to take risks on some players? I think he should introduce some players who fit the profile and play a correct DM. I mean, he's not called Tactical Eduardo for no reason. I mean, I'm sure you eventually chance on this video and then you do justice to the color.
No. See how we change the game.
You change one game. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. This has been the review of the Black Stars game against Central African Republic, ended 4-3 in Kumasi. That what a game. Kumasi showed up. Some of our people was there. Francis was there, giving us proper eyewitness account of how Ojo even was even handling the crowd in Kumasi. I mean,
the Sue on the center set.
Yeah. So thank you so much. The Sue. So thank you so much. We'll come your way with some more content. Don't worry. MYBET.AFRICA also giving you the best odds when it comes to sports betting. Play any game there, from bicycle racing to horse racing to whatever it is. Aviator. Everything is there on MYBET.AFRICA. Thank you so much. My name is Kwame. I'm with Francis, Vincent, and Benedict. And of course, thank you to the entire crew. My name still remains. It's like the third one mentioning my name. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.